welcome. It's the Atlanta Motor Speedway, the host of the NORA Cup Series 2023, Season 3, Race 22. As we wind up the regular season for Season 3, it's iRacing Live on VirtualRacing.Network. Again, we're here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's kind of like Atlanta Super Speedway, a 1.54-mile oval, one of the cookie cutters, but so fast in 36 laps, 96 laps, and 156 laps. That's the three stages tonight and overall. I'm Trevor Greenfield, and it is so great to be with you here on a beautiful Tuesday evening at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And of course, as always, welcoming into the booth is none other than NORA veteran and team owner, Christian Snyder. Christian, so great to have you with us. And what can we expect tonight from Atlanta Motor Speedway?
Always great to be here, Trevor. What we can expect tonight is some drafting. This is one of those drafting tracks that are on the circuit, much like Daytona and Talladega. It's a little bit tighter than those two tracks. I think we're going to see less pack racing and more single file, maybe too wide, but the tires wear off fairly quick here, unlike Daytona and Talladega, so you're going to see a lot of strategy come into play late through the night throughout the stages. And a lot of drivers are going to try to avoid the big one because these type of tracks usually do land a big one in the race.
Well, it certainly is close quarters racing, and a track like this, not much room for error for sure. But of course, before you can race, you must first qualify, and we can see in the background there is Jacob Gladelich headed out for JRC Sim Team, racing for owner points, and tonight gonna try to do something with a snazzy paint job on that car, headed out to try to get his possible pole position. We also got Anthony Mackie for Prestige TRD headed out there right now, just about to put in a time. Vincent Arthur for Flatline Motorsports, of course, leading in the championship points, and great to have him in the field tonight. We'll see what he can do here around this very fast oval. Jake Christenberry just getting up to speed here on this mile-and-a-half oval, and taking it all the way down to that red stripe on the start-finish line and through turn number 1. And just like that, very quickly, Gladelich puts in his time. That's third fastest. Vincent Arthur going to the top of the charts. Tom Senchak now second fastest, and Christenberry pulling it down to the bottom of that apex line and going to try to get in a very fast first lap. What did we get? Seventh fastest for Christenberry, and we'll see whether or not Christenberry and his fan club have shown up in force here tonight. Senchak putting in the second fastest time. Here's last night's winner, believe it or not, in the NORA Truck Series. If you missed last night's race, it was something else to behold. You're going to have to go back and watch it. Cody Height taking the victory last night, and some really awesome stuff, Christian. That was a lot of fun last night.
Yeah, it was a great race last night, and we're going to have another one tonight because these guys usually put on great shows at these type of races. Daytona and Talladega earlier this year were amazing. I believe we were here at Atlanta early in the season as well, and that was a fantastic race. I think it was if I'm not mistaken, a 3-wide finish where two drivers tied as far as the distance between them for the win. So I think we could see something like that tonight here.
Always a good opportunity at a track like this to see a very close finish, and we'll see how it all plays out. But always the NORA Cup Series delivering very well on its finishes and its excitement throughout the races. And of course, always a lot of fun either way just to call the races. So much action throughout the three stages, just like real life racing for the NORA cars and for the NASCAR Cup Series. Really presents some different strategies for these different drivers over the course of the race. And of course, you never know. Is it going to be a lot of yellow flags? Is it going to be some green flag long stints? It's anybody's guess. We could have over 10 cautions. We could have just a couple of cautions. You never know. Here's Cody Reeder on track for the KPR Motorsports team, and looking pretty sharp in the NORA Cup Series. That KPR Motorsports team, Cody Reeder, always doing a solid job. Matthew George now just finishing up his qualifying effort, only good enough for 22nd fastest. Kind of surprising. Ronnie Norman for Flatline Motorsports out there on track right now. Number 33 about to try to put in a time. Cody Reeder slotting in at third fastest. And I'll tell you what, this driver right here, Brady Motes for Ready to Wreck Racing, sticks that car on the pole position thus far. And quite a beautiful patriotic scheme he's got cooking here tonight.
And Ronnie Norman just slotted himself into 10th place here on the grid. And I believe that is our last car out here to set a lap.
So we'll let them call this one official. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and take a look at our points here tonight. And as we bring that up, there's your driver standings coming in after 21 races. Now, it may kind of surprise you. You're like, hey, did I miss a race? Well, the decision was made to not broadcast the last race at the Chicago Street Circuit. And Ryan Bird led the flock and managed to take victory and bring that one home and add another trophy to the nest. Vincent Arthur still leading the points, though, but that margin is still approachable in this regular season from Ronnie Norman. Brady Motes in third, Matthew George in fourth, and Jake Christenberry right up there in the points in fifth. Dustin Kleba also a winner, and therefore guaranteeing himself that he'll be in the playoffs. In fact, he'd probably be in on points, but Bird winning and able to secure a place in the points. And so Cameron Thompson racing for points here tonight, going to try to get his way into the playoffs on points. We'll see whether or not he can manage to do that. Let's take a look over here at the owner points. Flatline Motorsports exchanging at the top of the order. JRC Sim Team still right there in third, and a lot of other positions changing in the mid-pack as well. And of course, that race is also continuing to heat up. So let's go ahead and go over the starting grid for tonight's round number 22 at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the NORA Cup Series. Pole position earned by Brady Motes. Congratulations to him. Fantastic run from Brady. Second is Vincent Arthur. So starting on the side of Brady, that is going to be a difficult thing for both of those drivers here at this fast track to start and try and take over that lead position. Second row, Cody Reeder and Tom Senchek. Third row, Jacob Gladelich and Cody Height. Fourth row going to Cameron Thompson. Again, he's racing to try to get into the playoffs at the end of this regular season. Josh Conover sitting there on the outside of that row. Brandon Dunford will be starting in ninth, and next to him, Ronnie Norman. In 11th place will be Everett Couts and Timmy Harper. Timmy having a pretty good run last night, unfortunately getting caught up in a little bit of side stuff happening on the Mid-Ohio racetrack. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rest. And Christian, who's starting in 13th?
I believe that is Dustin Kleba with Blade Timmons beside him. And then Jake Christenberry and Kyle Rochelle behind them. Christopher Thomas in 17th and Justin Moody 18th. Dakota Moniz in 19th and Anthony Mackey in 20th. We got Matt Tucker 21st, Josh Curry in 22nd. Then you got Adam Kulikowski and Matthew George in 23rd and 24th. And behind them, I believe there's one more car, and there is. It is Nick Geilis in the number 3, starting 25th.
Well, a nice field for tonight, 25 cars. We're going to be missing the car of Ryan Bird. He's not able to make it tonight, so unfortunately. However, he does have a couple of teammates who have joined for tonight's race at that late Apex team, Kyle Rochelle and Dakota Moniz. So great to see them joining the fold here in NORA. And we are just about to send this one off. So Barney the flag man holds that green flag in the air. The call just about to go out, and Brady Moats going to step on that gas pedal and bring us to the green flag here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Now it's a pretty organized start throughout the field, still 2 by 2 the whole way back through. And it looks like Vincent Arthur are going to use that outside to try to get around, but it looks like, well, now the outside's tightening up. I think he's going to get a good run here. We'll have to see if he's able to get it in 3.
Fantastic start for all these drivers. No incidents thus far. Still 2 by 2 by 2. Fantastic running so far for everybody in that top 15 positions. Nobody has managed to break away, and now it's Tom Senchek who moves his car up into the front as Brady now ducks back into 3rd. So Vincent Arthur and Tom Senchek now sharing the top 2 positions and still side by side. So Moats having that little bit of difficulty, and Senchek able to pounce. Cody Height now up into that 3rd spot in that 122 machine. So Height feeling it here. Cody Height on YouTube starting to really feel it here behind the wheel as of late, and he's going to hold the outside line, and this is what it looks like from his perspective out there right now.
Yeah, these lead changes and position changes are going to happen so frequently. It's going to be hard to keep up with everything that's going on, because with these 2 lanes, it's almost every second you get a pass on the track. But as you can see, Vincent Arthur are going to get a shove from Brady Moats out to the lead. And now you got to wonder if Vincent and Brady are just going to move to the top, or if they're going to continue racing it out here on the bottom. You can see they kind of move up a little bit. Brady Moat's going to protect the outside lane. Vincent Arthur has enough of a gap. Let's see if he blocks the outside here. He will. And that's going to be a theme for tonight. You just got to, if you're out front, you got to control the lanes and be the leader of both lanes. And now you can see Vincent coming back down to cover the bottom lane because it had more of a run.
Well, Cody Reeder has now cemented himself into that 2nd position, and here comes Jacob Vladelich up a couple of spots. He's going to take a look for the JRC Sim team now at these top 2 drivers of Vincent Arthur and Cody Reeder. And you're absolutely right. Last time we were here, this was much insanity that unfolded over the course of the race, and perhaps we will be seeing something similar at the end of this one. Cameron Thompson, he's racing for those points as things kind of get a little hectic. There's Cody Reeder having so much trouble. How did he save that car? That was something else. Cody Reeder getting completely sideways, almost wrecking for about 200 yards, and then he managed to save it.
Yeah, this allowed teammates Vincent Arthur and Jacob Gladelich to pull away a little bit now, but with them pulling away, it's going to allow the pack to catch them pretty quick here. So we'll have to see if now maybe Cameron Thompson can get around these 2 and get a lead here. He's going to have to probably use the outside. It looks like the outside's working together a little bit better back there. So we'll see what he does, if he's going to jump high here or stay in line.
Well, Thompson now sitting in that 3rd position, and here comes Gladelich. He's just going to bump draft up in front and kind of help push Vincent Arthur out to a little bit more of a lead. Try and solidify those 2 at the top. And here comes Thompson on the inside. He's going to battle for that 2nd position.
Yeah, it looks like Gladelich just left a little bit too much of a gap there on that bottom, and it looks like Cody Reeder going to pull to the outside. Brady Moats was pushing him really aggressively, and Reeder did not like it, so he's going to choose to drop to the back of the field here. I think it's too early to be pushing aggressively. I know everyone wants to lead laps and everything, but there's no bonus points for leading laps, so you don't need to be aggressive like that this early.
Well, and even 1 or 2 bonus points for leading a lap is nothing compared to finishing the race and ending up in the top 5 as opposed to sitting on pit road. So always got to keep these things in perspective, and some drivers, they really want those stage points, that's for sure. But Vincent Arthur, he likes how it feels out there in the front in clean air, and can't really blame him. No dirty air to follow off of another car, and quite easy to work those tires exactly how you want over the course of the stint. Taking a look through the field, here's Cameron Thompson in 2nd place. He's already up 5 positions. He's holding strong right now for Harper Motorsports. Once again, he's racing for those points to try to get into the championship playoffs at the end of this season. Brandon Dunford for Nightmare Motorsports currently running in third. He's up 6 positions. And Kyle Rochelle in his debut right now on VirtualRacing.Network. As you see, Gladelich trying to duck to the outside of the late Apex Racing driver of Rochelle in the middle there. They're going to go 3 wide through the corner. I don't know if that's advisable, Christian.
Yeah, not sure if that's going to work, but you see Thomas, Christopher Thomas, get underneath him and go into 5th place. There's 2 people with similar names in here. Going to get them mixed up quite a bit, but we're 3 wide here. Jacob Gladelich, Brady Moats, and I believe, I'm not sure if that is Rochelle or if that is Senchek, because they have the exact same paint scheme. But they were 3 wide there for a second, and now Ronnie Norman going to pass Brady Moats as well.
So Brady, kind of the meat in the sandwich, and he kind of loses out on that one, drifts backwards a little bit. Up in front, it's Christopher Thomas for Full Send Motorsports. That beautiful paint scheme in that number 91 Chevy. He's racing side by side with Jake Christenberry through the tri-oval. As they march through it, it's Christenberry who gets hung out to dry on the outside.
Yeah, you see those 3 Apex cars in a row. You can't really see the numbers, but they all have the same exact paint scheme, so you can see them standing out. They're running as a team right now, and I guarantee you once all 3 of them get clear, they're going to try to go to the outside and all get up front 1, 2, and 3.
A lot of planning, a lot of positioning. We'll see how it works out. Right now, they're staying all together in the middle of the pack. Vincent Arthur holding on at the front with Cameron Thompson in second. It looks like Kleba has slid up into the 4th position, and Christenberry's back. He's on the outside, and he's attacking. Now up into the 4th spot on the outside. He's got a bit of a train behind him, pushing him towards the front. That's Ronnie Norman right behind.
Yeah, you saw Jacob Gladelich go up to the outside lane and have a huge run, and that's what we call a catch-up lap. And that's whenever you're way back in the back and you use the draft to get your fastest lap, and that's exactly what he did that lap.
So
now Cody Height joined them on the outside. There's a 5-car draft going up on the outside. I don't know if it's going to be good enough to get up to the front. But we have seen in the past at these type of tracks that the outside lane usually does get going later in the run. So here you can see they're kind of moving up ever so slightly on that inside lane. And the reason is because the inside has to check up a little bit coming out of the corner because the tires are starting to get a little bit tight.
Seeing a little bit of irregularity from Christopher Thomas. I think he may be having some connection issues. He's dropped well off the pace. He was shown kind of blinking in and out in our timing and scoring, and usually that's what that indicates, but he'll see if he can get that corrected or if that can pass through. Back underway and staying out of everybody's way, but Christenberry leading that train on the outside. Or are we starting to see the outside groove really start to rubber up and pay off?
Yeah, usually what happens with that outside lane, you got to look between 3rd and 2nd, and if they're pushing really well, and you got Ronnie Norman as the 2nd car on that outside lane, and he is a great pusher at these type of tracks, I would probably say he's the best drafter in this field. He knows how to get it done. I've been a spotter for him for many years at these type of tracks, and he just knows when to make the move before I'm even able to call them. So he is really good at these type of races.
Well, Norman now clears everybody and moves out in front. He'll take the lead. Christenberry ducks down to the low side, saying hello to Megan Beadle in the chat room of YouTube for VirtualRacing.Network. Thank you so much for joining us and bringing the Jake Christenberry fan club. He's right up there. He's racing for points and possibly going to go for his first win here in the NORA Cup Series, and that would be phenomenal. He punches ticket into the playoffs, and certainly Cameron Thompson trying to do that. Now he takes over that lead position at the front. And hello to Morgan Pavio. Appreciate you checking in, dear. Always appreciate our support. Feel like I'm racing out there every time I get one of my fans to check in. Thank you very much. Cameron Thompson, though, trying to win this race. He's going to have to start with stage 1. But Christenberry and Thompson racing to try to get a victory and punch their ticket into NORA playoffs. So right now, holding down the front of this one, and I'll tell you what, there's so much action up here, it's hard to keep track. Norman now back to pushing. It's amazing. He was just leading a moment ago, just two laps ago. Norman was out front, and now he's back into second. It's getting a little crazy, though. Cameron
Norman
Thompson
knows. Norman knows that blocking this early isn't the way to go, and he had the lead, and he had the option to block Cameron Thompson whenever he made that move underneath him, but he chose not to because he knew the outside lane would come back, and sure enough, here he is. He's pushing the guy who's in the lead, Jake Christenberry, out front, and he's comfortable with just sitting right now because he knows this is a long race. It's 156 laps, so no need to go crazy right now to try to get every position you need. Just run nice and smooth and get your best position for the stage.
Well, Christenberry looking to punch that ticket, but as I mentioned, Thompson doing the same, and they race side by side for that top position. Exciting stuff here on lap number 23 for the NORA Cup Series, round number 22. And you can see the very experienced teammates behind at Flatline Motorsports of Ronnie Norman and Vincent Arthur just kind of sitting there waiting for an opportunity perhaps to lead again, waiting for one of the lines to show its dominance and make a decision. They're going to switch to that. See a little bit further back, the late Apex teammates of Dakota Moniz, Tom Senchak, and Kyle Rochelle kind of forming up in that middle of the pack as well. They're just waiting to find out which one of these lines is going to open up, and are we going to see this start to string out? Will it form into a single car groove, or is it going to stay two-car groove the entire race? That is the question. Jake Christenberry leading the pack here on lap number 25 at Atlanta, and I'm sure they're rooting him on there in the household of the Beatles. Certainly great to have you all joining us over in our YouTube chat room, and of course getting notifications that some of you are subscribing. I hope you're enjoying this one as Ronnie Norman goes to the outside on Jake Christenberry. He's going to lead a train, including Brady Motes.
Ronnie knew that he was leaving a little bit of a gap there for that little bit, so he took advantage of that and will take the lead as now Jake Christenberry with an issue.
Yeah, Christenberry having a connection issue. I don't know if he's going to recover because he's still sitting. It looks like he may have a connection issue as he may have dropped from the race. Not sure, but we're going to keep going here at the front. Norman, Motes, Thompson, and Arthur Gladelich. That's your top five as they continue to battle for this top position, and Norman now is going to take over that lead. Thompson still trying to hang on the low line. Vincent Arthur has not budged. It's an interesting strategy between those two teammates at Flatline. Norman has been on that outside groove. You've seen Cody Height there. You've seen Gladelich. We've seen Brady Motes in the middle. We've seen him on the bottom. We've seen him on the top. But just between those two Flatline teammates, they have not budged. Norman sticking to the outside and Arthur sticking to the inside.
Yeah, Vincent, I think, is just I was about to say he was happy on the bottom, but he's going to get up there in front of his teammate and work with him and go get this lead, and Ronnie's going to just easily push him by Cameron Thompson here. And now you're going to see that outside work really well because now you got two teammates that are both really good at this discipline of racing in control of this race now.
Well, Riley Beadle checking in and letting us know that they were rooting on Jake Christenberry. Unfortunately, it looks like Jake has had an issue, and he is disconnected at the moment. We'll try to let you know if we do see him rejoin. It's always unfortunate when internet things can come into play. But looking on as well, Steven Dombrowski says, Ronnie Norman fan club in the house. And, of course, he's saying that Ronnie Norman just waiting to pounce. Well, they've made their move over at Flatline. Vincent Arthur moved up the track, and we've seen this many times in the early races of this season. Vincent Arthur in the top spot, Ronnie Norman sitting in second. Usually Josh Conover there to try to shore up that third position, or perhaps Matthew George, but those two drivers kind of hanging back a bit. Matthew George all the way back in 19th spot at the moment, and Conover in 15th, so just biding their time. In fact, Conover, if I'm not mistaken, he may be leading. He is kind of leading that second group back there, so I don't know if he's fallen off of this lead group, or if intentionally he and Nick Geilis, Adam Kulikowski, Matthew George, Anthony Mackey, Blake Timmons, Matt Tucker. I mean, that's a very skilled group. It's kind of interesting that they have fallen back from the main group at this point.
This is usually the strategy that Josh Conover runs at these type of tracks. He always pulls back about maybe a second to two off that front group, just in case there is a big one, and he doesn't want to be up there for when it happens, so that he can have a car for the last stage. So typically we don't see him getting stage points at this discipline of race.
Well, it makes perfect sense to me, and as long as you don't fall too far back that you can't get any advantage off of that draft, certainly a great strategy to employ, one to make sure that you're there at the very end. And watching this from above, you can really see how the cars are working together. Ronnie Norman doing a good job of pushing Vincent Arthur up there to the lead. Brady Motes hanging on there in third place, and Jacob Gladelich now solidly into fourth place. And I do wonder, are we starting to see the outside groove become the preferred line?
It's not necessarily the preferred line. It's all about who's in that line. With Vincent and Ronnie leading that line, as you can see, Cody Height with a huge run onto the inside there after Dustin Kleba gave him a shove. He gets to run on, like, into the corner, but then, oh no, Ronnie got into Vincent Arthur there, pushing him. Oh, man.
Well, Ronnie has recovered, but Vincent Arthur is sitting on the front stretch, and there comes the pace truck. What happened just a moment ago between Vincent Arthur and Ronnie Norman? Did Vincent have perhaps an issue coming through the tri-oval? Let's take a look and see if we can tell.
I can already tell you what's going to happen here. He's going to go down and try to block his teammate, Ronnie Norman. I don't know what Vincent was trying to do there, but obviously Ronnie Norman was already inside of him. He went down to make the pass here, coming to get white flag on the stage, and then just, yeah, he was not clear to come down, and you can't go below that red line. So Ronnie made the right decision. He didn't want to go below the red line and get penalized. So he just ended up staying where he was and turning his teammate.
Well, you can imagine some pretty difficult words being spoken right now over that team radio over at Flatline, but that's kind of craziness as we now see all these drivers starting to head down pit road for our very first caution of the night. And of course that also coincided with our first stage. So did you happen to see who led at the start? Was it Brady who led at the start?
Well, the caution came out, and that is going to be what the stage was. So yeah, Brady Motes is the winner of the stage there.
Congratulations to him. I believe Tom Sumchek in second and Jacob Gladelich in third place. That would be the winners of your first stage. And now we'll see who can manage to lead off of pit road.
Going to be Motes again with Cody Height and Cameron Thompson behind him. So that's 3 Fords up in the front. Actually, 4 Fords make that with Dustin Kleba in fourth.
4 Fords, and pretty much almost cleared out all the Fords and put them up there in the front. We're going to step aside for just a moment. We'll be right back here on VirtualRacing.Network. You don't want to go anywhere. welcome back here on VirtualRacing.Network. Cody Height has had a heck of a run last night, doing a fantastic job. In fact, even Sunday night in the Icon Cup Series, he had a great run going as well. Last night, taking victory in the NORA Truck Series, and here tonight he's up into second position, and he now joins us here for an in-race interview. Cody, this is Trevor Greenfield in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you. What's up, Trevor?
Hey, man. You've been doing pretty darn well as of late. Right now you're sitting in second place. Did pretty good in this first stage. How's it looking to you out there, and what do you got for the end of this one?
I'm just trying to survive, man. That was some craziness going on there.
Yeah, you definitely got to choose the outside, the inside. What are you picking? You think it matters? You're going to stick with the outside? What's your favorite going forward tonight?
I like being on the outside personally, but I mean, there's a whole lot of checking up going on in the corners and stuff, and it's pretty sketchy out there.
Well, we're going to go back to green. We wish you luck. We'll talk to you hopefully at the end of this one. Okay, bud?
Yeah, I hope to be doing another victory interview. Thanks, Trevor.
That'd be great. Bye-bye. So that's Cody Height, who joins us racing. He was in second place with the choose cone. He's now going to be starting in third on the outside. Chose to start or to stay out there on the outside, and always appreciate when we get a chance to chat with these drivers. Hopefully the curse is over, right, Christian? That's what we decided. It's
yeah, we're hoping that is, as we're back under green here, and a really good start there for Brady Motes. He's going to probably get too good of a start, actually. Has now Dustin Kleba is going to use his draft and probably go right around him here. And a lot of the field will also do that too, probably. We'll see if Senchek stays in line here or goes to the outside of Kleba. You see he goes to the outside. And now Brady Motes is just kind of a sitting duck here. He's going to have a little bit of a run here, so he may be able to block the top, so we'll see here. And I think he's going to remain our leader.
By the way, for those of you who are part of the Jake Christenberry fan club, he has returned to the race. He is quite a ways down in the order, but again, he's out there, he's fighting, and he is part of this group that is currently out there being shown on screen. See somebody blinking out there. I'm not sure who that was, but now Josh Conover has made it into that third spot. Dustin Kleba up into second, and we do wonder how long it will be until Kleba for KPR Motorsports decides it's my turn to lead.
Yeah, typically we don't see Josh Conover up toward the front this early in the race. So probably had a good pit stop and has his buddy Nick Geilis behind him. So anytime you're going to see Josh or Nick, they're going to be together on this type of discipline. Nick Geilis has 2 wins this season, one in truck, and I think he has won a Cup Series race. I'm not 100% sure on that, but they both came at this type of racing. So he's really good here, as well as Ronnie. Josh Conover obviously good here, Vincent Arthur. So these type of guys are the guys you typically see up front.
So we do have a note that says Christenberry is caught in some storms at home and lost some power, and as a result that's why he dropped out, but fortunately he's back in it and can collect some more points as he finishes this one out for sure. Steven Dombrowski, quick to voice his opinion. He says it's a bonehead move blocking teammates for a stage victory. Well, that's certainly a hot take on the Vincent Arthur maneuver down to the low line. What does everyone else think? Was that the way to go? Was there something else going on there? Maybe Vincent just didn't realize that there was somebody still down there. Tough to tell, but Brady Motes still holding on to Ready to Wreck Racing out in front, and looks like he's got Dustin Kleba trying to wear a hole in his bumper. Kleba blinking out a little bit, but he manages to come back in. Conover drifting back into the 6th spot. Now Nick Geilis up there into second. He's going to challenge for that lead position, and he'll get it.
Yeah, the last time we were at this type of track, we saw him lead quite a bit, so he's got the type of car for this track. But you can see, even though he had such a good run, that outside's just more put together, and Brady Mote's able to get back around him there.
Yeah, it's quite interesting, the run that you can get off of the outside. It's almost as though maybe through the tri-oval, that's the time to be on the inside line, and it kind of evens out. But as you go through and off of the corners, it seems like you get that outside line to really get the run. And it's pretty much unbeatable, especially as you exit turn 2 onto the backstretch. It just seems to have that real run off of the corner.
And right now it looks like the outside is packaged together a little bit better than the inside, so they're going to have the run off the corner. If I would have to guess here, if I was a spotter, I'd be telling my guys the outside lane is more tight than the inside. Go to the outside. So as you can see, he is going to lead going into turn 1 here.
Brady Mote's back in the lead. Nick Geilis in second. Geilis up 23 spots from where he started. Fantastic run from Geilis. Cody Height sitting in that 4th spot, and 5th for Kleba. That's your current top 5. As this one has been action-packed from the drop of the green flag. And we've seen a few different leaders here. Now Nick Geilis slotting back into 3rd, as Brandon Dunford now is going to challenge for that top spot.
Yeah, Brady Mote's tried an aggressive block on Dunford, not able to make it happen. Was able to get down in front of Geilis, though, to keep where he was, but he almost lost a lot of positions there and almost got hung in the middle, 3 wide.
Well, Dunford out there for Nightmare Motorsports, always one of the best teams, part of NORA, and always putting out solid entries. Dunford, this is definitely one of his best races, and able to get up there into the lead here at Atlanta. And he's got a nice new livery on there as well. Of course, showcasing his favorite grocery store here in Florida, and I have to say it's a fine choice. Cody Height now takes the lead for Harper Motorsports. So Height was in 2nd place coming to the green. Actually, he had gone to 3rd place coming to the green flag. Now finds his way to the front. And it's almost every lap, it's like somebody new takes the lead.
Yeah, how many times have we seen in real life that 22 car is out front at the drafting type races, especially with the 2 behind him? So kind of funny that's happening here in NORA as well. The 22 and 2 working so well, and the 2 with a big block there on the 20 car just a moment ago there.
Are you sure we're not watching a real life
we might be.
It's
we got Logano and Keselowski out there, or well, now Cindric, but yeah, those 2, some of the best out here.
Well, certainly that's the fun here on iRacing. You can get out there within inches of each other. You can bump draft. You can do all the same things that you can see on Sundays, except you can do it from the comfort of your own living room. And if you crash, there's not a $1 million price tag associated with it, and no broken bones. All problems forgiven, and you all get to get back together and go racing the next time that the races go on, and no having to sit out. For example, Simon Pagenaud now sitting out another race over an IndyCar. We see that over in NASCAR sometimes as well. You take a big enough lick, and next thing you know, you're having to sit out multiple races. But Brandon Dunford, hey, he's owning the front in his Nightmare Chevy. Driver out of Milton, Florida, 34-year-old, always doing a fabulous job, but tonight he is running at the front here in the NORA Cup Series and doing a bang-up job. He's stayed solidly up there in the front through most of the first part of this race. Now he's just kind of owning the front, so we'll see. As Brady Motes has also done an amazing job holding up there in the top 5 through most of this race as well, and leading quite a few laps. Now Nick Geilis going to try to take another shot perhaps at the front, but currently sitting in that 2nd spot. He's pushing Brandon Dunford, and the 2 Nightmare Motorsports teammates now have taken over the front of this race. So Nightmare Motorsports putting on a display at the 1/3 mark in this race here at Atlanta.
Car in the wall. I think that was Tim Harper gets into the wall. He's still going, but he had significant damage to that right side. just kind of rubbed the wall from a bad push from behind.
Well, he doesn't have a Darlington stripe, but he's got an Atlanta stripe. And Harper manages to gather it back together once again. He gets freight trained on the low side, and he's going to drift all the way to the back of the lead group. Now, Vincent Arthur actually is now shown a lap down. He's kind of running in the back, so I do wonder, did Arthur take some damage because of that incident? Right now, he's running well off of the pace. Unfortunately for him, he had a race-winning vehicle, but kind of made an errant call to come down to the low side, and the result, he's full lap off the pace. But he will get the wave around, assuming that we have another caution besides the stage caution, so we'll see what happens.
The way these guys are running right now, I think a caution could be possible here very soon. They're jumping back and forth between lanes, so we'll see if maybe that will be the cause of the next one. But you can see Guylis chose to go up to the outside in front of Josh Conover. I told you, anytime he sees Josh back there, he's going to want to be in front of Josh. Those two really good friends and really good racers here at Atlanta. And now we see a newcomer to the front, Senchek, back up to the front here. He's going to look to the outside and get with those Chevys. Now he tucks back in here in between Ford and Toyota. Typically at these type of races, you see Fords working with Fords, Chevys working with Chevys, Toyotas working with Toyotas. So we're kind of seeing that tonight so far.
Well, and now we've got Chevy, Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Ford, Chevy. I mean, Toyota. It is a little bit mixed up at the moment, but I get what you're saying, absolutely. They try to work together. Certainly, if teammates can work together, they'll do that. If they're just good friends, it's somebody you can trust. It almost doesn't matter what mark is on the front of the car. If it's somebody that you know you can trust, you'll do
Reader
it.
just put Josh Conover in the wall. Oh, man.
I saw Reader weaving around back there. I didn't know that he had made contact. So you say he put Conover into the wall. Do you think there's substantial damage on that machine of Conover?
There might be. He hit the right side pretty hard into the wall. I mean, Reader went to block him and just chased him the whole way into the wall. So I'm sure Josh Conover not very happy with Cody Reader right now.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time that Josh was not happy with another racer.
Well, look at the run he has right now. He's going to go to the outside here and work with, I believe that's Brady Mose in that red, white, and blue car. Now he's side by side with Cody Reader. Just going to pass him back clean. Josh Conover not quite the type of guy to go over and wreck somebody, especially in his own league. Maybe if it wasn't his league, he might wreck him.
Maybe, but but Josh knows it's a long race to go too. I mean, we still have quite a long time to go. Possible, you know, we certainly have another stage caution to go through. We've got potential other cautions, and you can see he's already recovered. He's up into 8th spot here. So, again, running that high line. He's tucked in behind Brady Motes. He's going to try to come back forward. Meanwhile,
right now, up toward the front, they're kind of broken apart, and now Brandon Dunford going to go around the lap car of Vincent Arthur. He is going to go 2 laps down now in the 24. But I think his car is fine. I think he was just offline from the restart and had to lose the draft there a bit. But he's going to get into the draft now and try to hopefully get his lap back the clean way here, as he's going to get a run here on Dustin Kleba. And yeah, he's going to lead that outside. Nope, he's going to tuck back in.
well, this track, again, just so fast, it's a lot like Daytona or Talladega. You just really can't afford to have to be running solo, and because of that incident earlier, he had no choice. He was kind of running solo by himself there in the back of the pack, and it was only a matter of time until he was going to get eaten up. And, you know, that's another interesting thing as well. You can have a car that is maybe a mile an hour or 2 off the pace, but if you can stay in that pack, you can still hold with them. You might even be able to get a little bit of a draft run on them, but you get that car side by side with a totally fresh car that's not having an issue, and definitely you're going to see real quick. It's like opening a parachute behind one of these cars. So, meanwhile, we've got some new faces up here in the top 5. Blake Timmons now making his appearance in the number 6 Fastenal for JRC Sim Team. Cody Reeder up there as well. Justin Moody for Prestige TRD now in 6th place. He's up 12 positions tonight. Brady Moats racing with Anthony Mackey. Mackey up 13 positions. He started all the way back in 20th. Here he is in 7th. So some drivers really making their way forward, and still some drivers that were up in the front have now drifted backwards. You got Cody Height back in 9th after leading for a little bit. And
I was going to say that's a product of the outside kind of breaking apart due to Vincent Arthur. Everyone kind of migrated down to the bottom, so Cody Height just kind of drifted the whole way back to 9th now and has found his spot on the inside lane.
Well, Dunford leading here on lap number 67, 158, and trying to bring it home for Nightmare Motorsports. That would be something else for Dunford and for Nightmare to have something to really celebrate here as we get towards the end of the regular season. Dustin Kleba, he's already taken a couple of victories. He knows his way around victory lane for KPR Motorsports, and he's already punched his ticket into the playoffs. But Kleba having a couple of connection issues as well, and as we look a little bit further back, there's some drivers that are trying to get around Arthur. He's not making it easy to let these other drivers by. In fact, there's Brady Moats, who's up trying to push Arthur towards the front.
Yeah, and Vincent right now, he's trying desperately to get his lap back and lead this this pack, because if a caution comes out and you're 2 laps down, you only get one of those back. So he's trying to get both of them back by getting himself up front and then have a caution, so he'll get 2 laps back. So that's his main focus right now.
Well, and you just saw now Arthur tuck in as this draft started to slow up. Moats was trying to duck out of the outside line and get into the inside line, and there was a car there. He couldn't do it, and as a result, you see him get freight trained there. Now Moats all the way back in 10th. Arthur jumps back to the outside line, and he's going to be the only car on that outside line, and he's going to start drifting back very, very quickly.
Yeah, and now we're seeing a product of this type of racing. The first stage, it was too wide the entire way. Now these guys are like, you know what, for the second stage, let's calm down, let's run single file, no need to push it too hard, we're happy where we are. You see one car trying the outside lane, that's Vincent Arthur back there, trying to do something, but he kind of has to at the moment, so he's probably going to be the one to make the outside lane work if he can. As you see, he's making a run on, I believe that was one of the Apex guys, I believe that was Rochelle. Now he's on the outside of Cody Height here as well.
So it seemed like it got single file throughout the field there for just a moment, but now we're seeing some side by side. Nobody can really stand to have it be single file for too long. We want to start getting that run going again, but I just think it looks like the outside line has kind of played itself out. I'm not sure if it's going to come back, I assume, but certainly as they get new tires, that will become a factor once again. We see
some green flag stops.
Yes, it's Cody Height barely getting down. I don't think he made it on speed. A couple of drivers really struggling to get down to the pits there. Blade Timmons, Timmy Harper, Cameron Thompson, and Cody Height all now making green flag stops.
That's the entire Harper Motorsports team, and the 2 had illegal pit entry. You could see as now Cody Height's going to run through the box instead of taking that hold. He's going to go back around and just drive back into the pits, which is a smart thing, because if you get penalized on entry of pits and then you pit into the box, you get a hold, which is about 15-20 seconds, as I think there was just a car sitting in the grass.
There is
Who
a
is
car.
that?
I don't know.
I believe
at the moment
maybe
it's
the 50...
Justin Moody. I'm not sure.
I believe, yeah.
Let's see if we can tell what happened to Justin.
Oh.
That's Cody Reeder and Justin Moody having a coming together, and there's Moody sitting sideways on the track, and he cannot come into the pits because that would be an illegal pit entry.
That developed as everyone was coming into the pits. I'm thinking what's going to happen. Justin Moody jumped up to the outside and didn't realize that Reeder was there trying to avoid someone who was pitting in front of them. But everyone going to get back out on track here. It looks like Dunford going to be your leader when everything cycles through, possibly. We'll have to see.
So a number of drivers now making their stop. See Kulikowski with a brand new paint scheme on his number 7. On his number 45, not his number 7.
Yeah, not sure if that's going to draw any penalties because you do have to have your number on the car, so we'll have to see how Josh handles that. But you can see significant damage now to Cody Reeder's right front. It looks like almost the toes knocked out of that right front too.
Well, you see some drivers just coming up to speed, coming out of the pits here. I'm not sure how this is going to work out for Reeder because he has not yet made his pit stop. Josh Curry also sitting in second place. He also has elected to not bring it into the pits yet. Here comes Reeder. I think that was possibly what was happening was Reeder and or Moody were trying to get into the pits or trying to avoid somebody who was getting into the pits, as you said. And as a result, having to stick out there another lap. Josh Curry also now into the pits just behind Cody Reeder. And that's going to put Jacob Gladelich into the lead as they cycle around. Ronnie Norman, you called it. He's back. He's in second place after a great pit stop cycle. Tom Senchak and Brady Motes fighting it out for third.
Yeah, Norman with his teammate in front of him, but these guys have to get down in front of Senchak there because that inside lane has 5 cars versus their 3. So those 5 cars are going to run a little bit faster. So they got to get down in front of them if they can, which I think Brady is clear, and you'll see him drop down. And there they go.
Well, and Gladelich, Norman, and I believe and Motes all came in on lap 70 as opposed to 73. We've got cars around.
That is a caution. I believe that was Dunford that we saw go around, as well as Nick Gillis, and now someone not braking for the wreck gets back into Brandon Dunford.
Oh my goodness me. Nick Gillis involved in that. Sure, I think Matthew George got through it, but Cody Height looks like he's okay. Let's step back and see if we can tell exactly what happened. It looks like somebody was coming off of pit road. We'll see if we can tell from Dunford's. It might have been Cameron Thompson. Not really sure. We'll see if we can tell from Dunford's point of view who caused the issue.
Oh, the 51.
So, that would be the 51.
Curry.
Of Curry. And indeed, it looks like he was just coming off of pit lane and had all kinds of
right
issues.
Here. He just starts getting loose, tries correcting it, snaps back up into the track, and you just... Yeah, you hate to see that.
You hate to see it. I was just saying that. Well, unfortunate stuff here as it caught out a number of our front-running drivers, including, looked like Nick Gillis right in the middle of that one. This is from on board with Nick. And, of course, the 20 of Brandon Dunford caught in the middle of that one as well, taking quite a lot of damage. This is what Brandon Dunford saw from on board.
There's just nothing you can do at that point.
It's like a missile coming from your left-hand side. You have no idea. You're not really expecting the hit to come from the left.
Yeah, you just gotta put the that meme of the missile knows where it is. that is exactly what just happened right there.
Oh, well, unfortunately, that takes out a couple of our better runners of the night. And as a result, Jacob Gladelich will circle behind the pace truck. So we're going to step aside here, VirtualRacing.Network. We will be right back with the conclusion of stage number 2. Stay tuned. Should be a great restart. Welcome back here on VirtualRacing.Network. We're back under green. After that very short caution, Jacob Bladelich has slipped back into 4th position, and now it's Ronnie Norman who's moved up into the front with Tom Senchek and Dustin Kleba just behind. Matt Tucker now part of this conversation up in front. Senchek with that late apex machine now dives to the outside. He's going to try to take that position. Ronnie Norman says no, not so fast. He charges forward on that inside line and retakes the lead.
Yeah, he had help from Dustin Kleba behind him, pushing him through the quad over
Cody Height in the wall, just behind. No. Just went up and touched that wall, and you could hear the paint rubbing off of that Joey Logano machine, but he gets it back together again, and he'll continue. I don't know what preceded that, but unfortunate for him.
Yeah, more than likely the most typical thing that happens here at this type of track is a push gone wrong. So he could have checked up for a little bit of slowdown in front of him, and the guy behind him didn't know and just bumped him into the wall. And we got a new face up front, Matt Tucker in the 42, the biggie bag, Wendy's 42 car.
Well, he's aiming to have a biggie race here. Definitely, we saw Matt Tucker in his debut. Absolutely able to do whatever he wanted with that NORA Cup machine. Now able to get up there and lead a lap here at Atlanta. We are racing for about another 10 laps or so until the end of stage 2. So who is going to take this stage 2 victory? Who's going to be able to claim some bonus points? There's a lot of drivers in this field who need those points to be able to get into the playoffs.
I think the most beneficial person for that that stage win would be Senchek and Norman, because they're kind of low on the playoff bonus points, so they kind of need that playoff point that you get for winning a stage.
Absolutely. Senchek doing everything he can on the outside.
Kind of interesting. Three guys on the inside are all driver points drivers, and then 3 guys toward the front on the outside are all owners, except for Brady Most running for points there on the outside in the 3rd car in line, as now he's going to drop low here in front of Senchek and try to get in front of Matt Tucker. Good run here. Oh, he gets a bump that got him a little sideways there.
You could just hear his RPMs pick up as he got that bump draft.
He's going to take the lead here through 1 and 2. Senchek pushing him. You can see how close Senchek's going to get. He's going to get right into our camera and kind of break it there. I think it broke. We'll have to pay for that.
Brady Moats back into the lead here at Atlanta. It didn't take long. The Ready to Wreck Racing driver now sees his way to the front once again. Matt Tucker on the outside, looking to make this a biggie win. And he could do it here tonight, but Tucker, part of that Nightmare Motorsports team that has been already up there at the front here tonight. We'll see whether or not Nightmare can claim their first Cup Series win in quite a long time. In fact, it's been, I think, since Nick Geilis won at the start of the season since we've seen someone from Nightmare in victory lane.
I believe Matt Tucker tonight running for Flatline Motorsports in the 42. He's one of those, another one of those drivers that jumps between all teams in this league. He's raced for Nightmare, JRC, Flatline, so he's just one of those guys that shares his contract with multiple teams.
We'll make sure we get that updated. Always interesting to discover things as we get partway through the race, but certainly wouldn't want to get that wrong as far as their team affiliation. Vladelich, though, hopefully racing for Harper Motorsports and doing a bang-up job. He's running in third spot. Tom Senchek for that late Apex team, still hanging on the low line opposite Jacob Vladelich. And these two drivers, as you can see, it's getting crazy up there at the front once again as they all have fresh tires. See even Vincent Arthur, the lap car, now trying to get up there as well.
And you said Jacob Vladelich, hopefully for Harper Motorsports. He's actually on JRC Sim team. I don't know how his team got changed to Harper Motorsports, because he runs full time for JRC and Flatline. So that is interesting. But we are coming to, I think, 4 to go here in this stage, and now you're going to see these guys getting really aggressive up front. The 42 of Matt Tucker really close with Brady Moats there. These guys are starting to get aggressive. They know points are going to be awarded in just a moment. So here we go. 42 with a big run on the outside of the 15.
So
now Josh Conover stuck in the middle. Look at this. He's going to try to get down in front of Ronnie Norman, and will.
Vladelich holding on the outside, down on the low side. Tucker and Brady Moats. Looks like Tucker able to sneak up there. And
Moats
get that top
really
spot.
tight. Oh.
Moats drifting up the track, almost making a 3-wide Conover into the car on the outside. He manages to save it, but Conover does not. And Conover avoids hitting any walls, manages to get that one stopped before he punches the wall, but unfortunately, that does bring out the caution.
Yeah, I think that one kind of started with the incident between, I think it was Brady Moats slid up the track and then came back down in front of Senchek, and then Senchek had to check up, and it kind of caused a stack up behind Senchek, and then Josh got turned from behind.
Well, that's
but Jacob Vladelich going to win the stage.
Yeah, that's going to give Vladelich the stage win, and second will be Dakota Moniz. Third will go to Matt Tucker, and fourth possibly, I can't tell whether it's Moats or Senchek is going to get that fourth position, but looks like Senchek kind of down on the low line there. So everybody heading into the pits here at the end of the stage. We're going to step aside. We'll be right back here on VirtualRacing.Network. Stay tuned. and welcome back here on VirtualRacing.Network. It has been an absolute barn burner here at Atlanta, and you would expect so at a place like Hotlanta to have some heat under the collars, and well, certainly they've been racing hot and heavy. It's been Jacob Gladelich who so far has taken a stage victory and has shown very well, but Brady Moats, who's in second place, he's been racing very well as well and been right up there in the front. He's led a number of laps. Got Matt Tucker and Tom Senchek currently running in third and fourth place. They've been running very well tonight, both of them emerging up at the front and taking turns leading. Matthew George for Flatline Motorsports, we haven't been calling his name, but he is currently shown in fifth position. Now Cody Height did manage to recover from hitting the wall. He's currently sitting back in 8th place. And Josh Conover also recovered just fine. He's now back in 10th. Vincent Arthur is back on the lead lap, believe it or not. So the Flatline Motorsports driver has done what he needed to do, and he's managed to recover from that earlier incident, so good for him. It does appear as though Kristen Berry has called it a night, though, as has Anthony Mackie and Josh Curry. But as you can hear, we are green once again here at Atlanta. And what
a good start.
Yeah, a good start. It's a little broken up, though, through the field.
Yeah, these guys are going to have a big gap here. But with Jacob Gladelich pulling down to the bottom now, it's going to allow Matthew George to have a huge run down this backstretch on, I believe that is Senchak in the 26. He's going to have a huge run coming out of 4 now. Senchak going to try to cover it, it looks like. Yeah, not able to. Here comes Matthew George on that outside lane. Oh, and he lost his help now, and now everyone in front of him is going to block him. My goodness, here we go. They're too wide for second.
Brady Moats and Matt Tucker now racing it out for second place as Moats goes up and plows into the back of Gladelich, but seizing the opportunity is the biggie bag man himself of Matt Tucker, who now races his way into the lead once again here for the NORA Cup Series round number 22.
Teammates side by side for the lead up here, the 42 and the 7. And then you got teammates behind him, the 26 of Senchek and Moniz in the 05. Also teammates there over at late Apex. So let's see. It's kind of Apex versus JRC Sim right now up the front, and Brady Moats trying to break that up.
We've had so many different formations up at the front of this one, and right now it's Matt Tucker for JRC Sim Team who leads at the front over Tom Senchak and Dakota Moniz, two teammates over at late Apex. And look at this, running in 4th place. It's our only independent in the field tonight, Adam Kulikowski. So he's trying to just break up this whole teammate. I don't need a teammate. He's going to run by himself, and he's going to be in 4th place. But here comes Vincent Arthur to take that spot from him and push him out wide. Vincent Arthur recovering after leading the laps early with Ronnie Norman behind him. Now he's got his teammate Josh Conover. And what's happened now?
Adam Kulikowski went 3 wide, wasn't quite able to hold it straight and turned up into Jacob Gladelich, and that is a couple of cars that have been taken out in this one. But you'll see he gets put 3 wide here by Jacob Gladelich, and then Kulikowski just starts wiggling all over the place and goes up into Gladelich there, and that takes out about 5 cars.
My goodness me. Matthew George caught in that one. Cameron Thompson caught in that one. Cody Reeder caught in that. I don't think Tim Harper had a piece of that, but I know that Nick Geilis did. See if we can tell exactly what happened from Cameron Thompson's point of view. I'm sure he's going to have a face full of car here in just a second.
That is a hard hit for both him and I believe that was Brady Moats. the guy who's been leading most of this race, heavy into the inside
getting
wall.
Caught in the absolute wrong spot, as a lot of these drivers are now on pit road. And we're going to see if we can get a camera over on Brady Moat's point of view. He's still shown up in 8th place, but this is what Brady saw as they were wrecking in front. He came over and touched Ronnie Norman, who managed to avoid anything and take evasive action, but you can see some damage going to be on that number 15 machine now. And he'll have to
and that was heavy damage too. I mean, the hit, you could see the left front tire through the hood, so that's probably going to end the day for the 15 car there. Maybe not end it, but definitely takes him out of contention to win.
He is sitting on pit road at the moment, and it is a good question as to whether or not he's going to be able to receive the repair that he needs on that machine. So with that, we're going to take our opportunity to catch our breath and reset for this one. We'll be right back here on VirtualRacing.Network. Don't miss anything. Mo, maybe get up and get a beverage and then come on back. We'll see you soon. Welcome back here on VirtualRacing.Network. You perhaps saw it as we were at commercial break there, but basically some of these drivers still sitting on pit road, and so admin deciding we're going to extend this caution another lap, give these drivers a chance to get a little bit more repair. Brady Moat's been sitting on pit lane for now over 2 minutes. Kladelich well over 3 minutes on pit lane. Cameron Thompson over 4.5 minutes on pit lane, trying to get those cars repaired. And I don't know if they're going to be able to return back to the fray. And that a very unfortunate wreck, taking out a couple of very good cars here at Atlanta. But you were just saying ahead of the broadcast, really, that that's really, this is what this track kind of produces. It's a super speedway, and if something goes wrong, it's kind of the big one, no matter what happens.
Yeah, there's such high speeds and the cars are so close together, there's not enough time to react sometimes. So once one car wrecks, it usually collects 5 or more.
Well, we're about to get this one back underway here as Barney the Flag Man holds that green flag and waves it one more time as we get set to get going on lap number 107. We're underway again here at Atlanta for round number 22 of the NORA Cup Series. If you're enjoying this one out there and you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We've got so many more great races to run here on VirtualRacing.Network for the rest of this season. You won't want to miss it. Matt Tucker in the lead here for JRC Sim Team, and of course sort of quasi-teammates with Vincent Arthur over at Flatline Motorsports, who now has emerged back at the front. This has been a crazy run here for Vincent Arthur. He's gone all the way a lap down, and now he's come all the way back. Christian, this is a miraculous recovery drive from Vincent.
Yeah, we see this so often from Vincent. You know, we count him out of races, so like he's wrecked. He's not going to come back and win this thing. I think he won a race. I forget what part he was missing off his car. It might have been a back bumper or a hood, and ended up still winning the race.
Well, if there's one driver out there that can do that, it would be him. And we've got two cars simultaneously that jumped up there and got into the wall. Cody Height, one of them, and
Was that Senchak? It was one of the Apex guys.
Senchak. I don't know.
It was definitely one of the Apex guys.
Was it Moniz ahead?
Senchak. It was Senchak.
Okay, so Senchak.
Heavy damage on the right side.
That was interesting because Height kind of jumped up to the high side and hit the wall just a little bit. And Senchak, it almost seemed like was reactive and did the same exact thing. Difficult to tell what's going exactly through these drivers' minds. But again, so fast this speedway and so little reaction time that by the time you realize that you've made an errant mistake, you're already in the wall.
I tell you what, same song, second verse from last time here at Atlanta. Look at who is up front. You got three flatline guys, second, third, and fourth, and their ally there with JRC Sim up in front. If I'm not mistaken, last time here, Ronnie Norman was able to pick up the win over Vincent Arthur by 1/1000th of a second. So Ronnie Norman trying to go back-to-back here, and Vincent Arthur and Josh Conover trying to get their first win at this type of discipline.
Well, who's this guy, though, who's emerged up into fourth? It's none other than the newbie to the NORA Cup Series. Welcome to NORA Cup, Kyle Rochelle, currently running in fourth place, in 12th position so far tonight for late Apex Racing. And he now zeroes in on the back of Josh Conover. And you do wonder, I mean, you got Matthew George up there as well. You got four flatline teammates, two late Apex Racing teammates, and JRC Sim Team. This is basically all, I mean, JRC stands for Josh Conover. So there's a lot of Josh Conover and Flatline Motorsports up there in the top 7, and the only ones to break it up right now are basically the late Apex twins of Kyle Rochelle and Dakota Moniz, who's emerged at the front, also in his debut here in the NORA Cup Series. So some new faces at the front, and we're seeing some fantastic racing as we're now closing in on the finale of this race. We're in stage number 3. You see Ronnie Norman going side by side just behind with Matthew George as well, two teammates, and I think Ronnie's starting to slip off the pace a little bit.
He tried making a move to the outside of Matthew George, and whenever you try to make that move, you're going to lose all your momentum because you got the 05 and the 8 having draft, and he didn't have any. So what he's got to do, he's got to get up to them right as they enter the corner, get the side draft, pull them back, and then pass them throughout the corner. I've seen it done in real life. Let's see if Ronnie's able to do it. Usually he goes to the inside, pulls them back, and then passes them by the time that he's out of the corner. But with the 05 of Moniz running the bottom, it's going to be really hard to get the side draft on the outside and pass him.
And up at the front, it looks like Vincent Arthur momentarily taking a look to the outside, tucks back in. These three teammates very happy to run 1, 2, 3 at the moment and take some deep breaths and not have to worry about trying to deal with some drivers on their outside in the second group trying to make a pass, as they now all have to work around Cody Reeder, who runs on that low line, and looks like everybody getting the picture and getting around safely.
Well, now what Ronnie's got to hope for back there in the back is hope that these guys stay to the outside so that he can work the bottom. This is his opportunity to at least get one pass. This is going to be interesting because he wants to get up there with his teammates for sure.
I mean, he's slipping back. I'm not sure. We'll see. Now he starts to gain a little bit as he drops down that low side. Everybody's chance. That's Brady Moats that they're all avoiding, and my goodness, everybody has to check up. As that chain starts to accordion coming back there, and now Cody has dipped in behind, so he's managed to stay with this draft, as has Brady Moats. So I guess their car's back up to speed sufficiently. Brady Moats now going to go up there and race with the group once again, even though Brady is several laps down now, approximately 6 laps or 7 laps down at the moment. So unfortunately for him, but back up front, no problems for Matt Tucker. Tucker hanging on, and he's got the biggie bag with the nuggets, the fries. He's got it going on at the front of this race.
I'll tell you what, it's making me hungry. I kind of want to go to Wendy's now.
Seeing that Baconator out there on Sundays, the livery that's running out there now, and tell you what, you got to go to the. It all depends on which Wendy's you go to, because one that's closest to me, they give you these little tiny pieces of bacon. I went to another one, and you get these big pieces of bacon. So it's it's kind of a crapshoot, but. Here we go, Vincent Arthur holding on to that second spot. Conover in third. You know, after the way that this kind of was shaping out in the first part of this race, it's kind of amazing to see the flatline teammates be able to really hold down the fort at the front of this one. It's got to be kind of a sigh of relief from Arthur to be back in control and be back into second place, and for Josh Conover to see his team doing as well as they are. He's got to have a big grin on that face right now. But I do imagine that Conover is going to let Arthur perhaps have his moment in the sun, although we'll see when we get to the end of this race. Still 26 laps remain here at Atlanta. We're zeroing in on that magic 20 to go marker when you're going to start to see a lot of these drivers start to really position themselves for the end. Rochelle sitting in fourth place, and you just know he's saying, hey, I got nothing to lose, absolutely nothing to lose. If he certainly isn't going to be able to get enough points to get into the playoffs on points, so he is going to need to punch his ticket with a win here tonight, or in one of the next couple of races. Is he going to take a look down to the inside? It was almost looking like he was going to make a run.
Yeah, it almost looked like he was going to try something on Josh, but these guys are starting to run about a half a lane up off of that red line because the tires are starting to give up, so they're starting to get a little bit tight out there. But we should have green flag pit stops before this race is over, so that's going to be the money stop. You got to be perfect on entry and perfect on exit. We've seen trouble on entry earlier tonight, and we've seen trouble on exit with the 51 getting loose on the apron. So anything could happen at this point. Well, you can actually see Matthew George has damage to that right front, so kind of surprised that he's able to keep this thing up here in that top 5 as he was involved in that last wreck.
Well, all he did was take what he wasn't allowed to do before the race and make it a little bit more aerodynamic with that number 8. But
shortened it up a little bit.
Shortened it up. But there is a difference in tire strategy. Some of these drivers coming in on one caution, others coming in on another caution. So you've got Kyle Rochelle, who can pull up this pit strategy here. A little tough to see, but Kyle Rochelle and Matthew George coming in on 103. as well. Timmy Harper in on 103, all the way back to Adam Kulikowski, etc. All those drivers coming in on 103. But everybody else in the top 10 coming in on lap number 95. So a little bit fresher tires for Rochelle and George, and they can go a little bit longer on fuel than the other ones can. So we're going to see the others peel off for green flag pit stops a little bit earlier, and we'll see if we'll see how this shakes out for this pit stop exchange. It should be an interesting one to see whether anybody can have an advantage.
Yeah, I think the smartest idea is for all 8 or 9 of these cars. I think that's 8 cars that are on the lead lap here. They're all going to have to pit at the same time. They got to get on the same page and work together, because if these guys split up, it's going to basically seal the race for whichever team does it better. We got Flatline and JRC versus Apex, so if the Apex guys pit together and don't pit with Flatline, as we now see Ronnie Norman finally got tired of riding behind them, and he's going to get up there with his teammates. I kind of figured this was going to happen, but now Brady Moats going to drop in behind him as well and kind of leave Jacob Gladelich out to dry here.
And Gladelich still staying out there out to dry, and you saw Ronnie kind of sliding over for a moment, trying to block a outside run from coming forward, but realizing that it wasn't a serious threat, he now tucks in line. And I did the math incorrect a while ago. It's actually just under 30 laps to go now, so we will definitely be seeing these drivers coming in for green flag stops before too long. Again, first ones to come in will be Tucker, Arthur, Conover, and Norman. All 4 of them would be coming in probably on the same lap. We'll have to wait and see when that's going to be. Just 28 laps remain here at Atlanta, and Christian, it's still anyone's race all the way back through 7th place, and then you've got this big group of cars back here from 8th on back. This is Tim Harper, Dustin Kleba, Christopher Thomas, as we now see Dakota Moniz.
Oh, caution.
Coming into the pits. I don't know if he brought that out. Kyle Rochelle going off track. I don't know if that's what caused it.
Maybe they went to try to pit and someone got around here. We'll see. Yeah, it looks like the 27 slowed down to pit and the 8 just wasn't aware and got him sideways, and that's going to bring out the caution. Whenever you're trying to pit here, you got to let the guy behind you know. Unlike real life, you're not able to put your hand out the window and start waving frantically that you're going to pit. So you got to use your words out here.
Definitely got to key in on that radio, let everybody know, possibly have a text chat thing that says I'm pitting in, every way that you can. Let people know that you're going to be coming into the pits. And now we see this whole top group come in. Everybody's going to come in. What this is going to do is give us about a 23-lap shootout to the end of this one, with everybody back together again. And it looks like Rochelle having possibly some contact there on pit road.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. He might have lost his pit box sign there and went to turn in earlier than he wanted to, and then Harper sped up a little bit and got into the back of him there. But everything clean so far. It looks like Tucker going to come out as the leader. No, Vincent Arthur going to beat him.
Arthur able to do so just by a nose. Tucker in second, Conover in third, Ronnie Norman in fourth, and Dustin Kleba in fifth. We're going to step aside here at VirtualRacing.Network. We'll be right back. You won't want to miss this shootout to the end. Welcome back here on VirtualRacing.Network. Quick break there, and we get a chance to chat with your new leader of this race. He just managed to beat Tucker off of pit road in the lead, and I believe we now have him. Hey, Vincent Arthur, can you hear me? This is Trevor in the booth.
Yeah, I got you.
Vincent, awesome recovery race so far, man. You had that incident earlier. You came down and Did you try to block Ronnie? Were you not sure that he was there? What was going on there?
Yeah, I was just trying to protect the position and never got the call from the spotter that he was down there. So I was about as surprised as as Ronnie was that we made contact there. But yeah, luckily I got no damage there. I kind of got screwed was 2 laps down for a while. Really lucked out getting that yellow when I did. Yeah, it's been a fight to get back on the lead lap, and now that we're here, it's kind of just taking it lap by lap. I was in this situation in the spring with running in the top 2 with only a couple laps to go. So we'll try to seal the deal this time, but yeah, just try to stay calm, cool, and collected for the remainder of these 24 laps.
Is it going to be with the help of all of your friends up there at the front? You got a lot of your flat line and even JRC teammates there, or you think it's going to be everybody for themselves at the end of this one?
I think we'll do a good job of sticking together until push comes to shove here on probably the last two laps. It'll probably get a little wild, but it's nice to have friendly faces around me.
Well, good luck, and we'll see you at the end of this one.
Thank you, man.
That is Vincent Arthur. He's in the lead. He just took over the lead. Is he gonna? They're gonna delay another lap until we get a chance to go green again. So I guess that's just better for Vincent to be able to catch his breath. I hope Josh wasn't concerned because we stole Vincent.
Yeah, typically whenever you're in the same team in Discord, especially when you're the leader, you like to call out that when you're going. That way, your entire team knows when to get on the gas. So, I don't think that's the reason. I think there was still a couple cars trying to get caught up and get into line that were getting more damage repaired. As you can see, Cody Reeder pits again, Tom Senchak into the pits. So. This gives them an extra opportunity to get a little bit more damage repaired and get back out there and not spread out the field as much as last time.
This is going to be one heck of a shootout to the end. What are you looking for out here, Christian? What do you think is going to be the magical recipe to success to win this race?
I think the magical recipe for success in this race is that Chevy emblem on the front of your car. Those 4 cars up front, being Chevys, they're going to work together. They're on the team. So I think the way that you're going to win this race is if you happen to be on the flatline group.
Well, what if you're somebody who's got absolutely nothing to lose? How about this guy Christopher Thomas for Full Said Motorsports back here in 8th, or Timmy Harper back here in 7th? Just trying to get up there and crash the party. Kyle Rochelle for Late Apex Racing. He's got no friends up there to work with. It's all for himself or for nothing.
Yeah, these guys, a lot of them have damage already, so they got to just go as hard as they can. But the green flag back in the air. Vincent Arthur probably going to jump up in front of his teammate Josh Conover here right away. As he will jump in front of Josh Conover now. Ronnie Norman kind of left out on his own on that outside. Let's see if he's able to get down here at all, but he is getting freight trained. As now we see, I believe that's the 42 jumping high, and he's going to work with Dustin Kleba and Tim Harper behind him, and then Ronnie Norman going to be in behind Tim Harper there.
Matt Tucker moves to the outside. He's going to try to lead that train with Dustin Kleba and Ronnie Norman. And Norman really getting the raw end of that start. Now drifting back. But it's Vincent Arthur who holds on to that top spot. Josh Conover in 2nd. And as I said, how about this guy, Kyle Rochelle? He's got nothing to lose in his debut here on VirtualRacing.Network. That number 27 machine looking pretty good, sitting in 3rd spot. Will he have something to say more than 3rd here tonight? That is anyone's question, as we now officially have hit 20 to go. And I think we all know what that means. It's in fact time for the Snyder Graphics 20 to go segment. Snyder Graphics, your proud presenting sponsor of the 20 to go, facebook.com/Snyder Graphics, and of course putting together a beautiful paint job over there for Christopher Thomas, who's and we've got 2 cars. One is over.
Harper's on his roof. Harper on his roof and over. And this is going to be a wild ride when we watch this one back. But I think it's going to be a bump draft gone wrong. This is a product of this type of racing.
Well,
you see these big crashes, and this is one of them.
I have a note also that Thomas went off track, but we'll stick with Harper and we'll see what he shows here.
Oh!
Harper gets into Kleba.
Yeah, it looks like Kleba was running the bottom and just got a little bit tight there as you get to that first little cut, and went up almost into Harper as he was coming down, and it was just meeting in the middle. And I think you saw a couple cars go through the grass to avoid this one, and also spinning through the grass to avoid it. So, but we'll watch overhead here, and yeah, Kleba just makes a hard cut to the right quickly. And then the two cars behind them both kind of scattered in separate directions to avoid it. And then Guileless nowhere to go as he chose the bottom and gets right into the door of Harper. But heavy damage for Kleba and Harper. Both of them will be out of the race here. I think Matt Tucker was also involved in that one, as well as Christopher Thomas.
Well, we'll try and take a look here at what Tucker saw. This was just a moment ago for the 42. That biggie bag has a couple less fries in it than it did before, but he managed to keep it pretty well off of the wall.
Yeah, surprisingly not too much damage from that. It was kind of a weird angle to hit the wall, and I think he's going to be all right. Maybe get 4 fresh tires because he probably definitely flat spotted them. But you can see here Christopher Thomas coming into this, just nowhere for him to go. Loses his hood and goes for a wild ride. Able to save it though, but he did lose his hood, and that's going to be pretty bad damage there for the 91.
It's a beautiful machine. Unfortunately, you're going to have some repair bills to pay on that one over at Full Send Motorsports, but that it's also unfortunate because I think he's going to end up with a penalty for unsafe pit entry as well.
Well, they usually clear that one if you were involved in a wreck and go into pit road. So they'll clear that penalty, so that's not going to be the issue. I think the damage more so is going to be the issue there for the 91 car.
Well, unfortunate stuff, and of course, we were in the middle of saying if you need a custom wrap or livery done for your Cup car, your Next Gen Cup car, or truck, or just about anything else on the iRacing service, look no further than Snyder Graphics. Facebook.com/Snyder Graphics, one of the proud presenting sponsors of the NORA Cup and Truck Series. So as we are under caution yet again, lights are off on the pace car, and Vincent Arthur, he survived. And I mean, this is a survivor story here tonight. Got caught up in an earlier incident. You heard it straight from him. He was as much as 2 laps down. He's fought to get back up there. Is he going to be able to take victory? This would be his first victory in a little while here in the series. And of course, he's also been really fighting to be up there and recapture some of what has been lost, as we've seen some new drivers come in, Dustin Kleba, and a number of others, including Tucker. He's made quite a name for himself here in the league. It's been a rough go for Arthur, who's gotten some kind of bad luck in the middle part of this schedule. And to see him trying to get it back together again, tonight may be his night. Conover, of course, always looking for a victory. Chad Engel checking in, saying, sitting here watching the race with my week-old son. How wonderful, Chad. And getting him started real early there. I hope he's got his little NASCAR hat on, and he's already a fan, starting with the NORA Cup Series, and that's so great to hear. We'll look forward to seeing you back in the car, Chad. In the meantime, we're back racing here at Atlanta. Who's it going to be in victory lane? Arthur, Conover, and Kyle Rochelle. That's your top 3. Cody Height now marches up into that top 3.
And now Ronnie Norman going to go back up into the 4th spot as he gets underneath Rochelle as well. So now it's Vincent Arthur, Conover, Cody Height, and Ronnie Norman, your top 4. And then you got 2 of those Apex drivers back there behind him. And then there's a little gap. But then you got, I think that is the 20 of Dunford, who's a lap down trying to get his laps back up there. And Kulikowski also back up into the top 7.
So we've got anybody's guess as to who is going to end up on the podium of this one. Right now it's Arthur, Conover, and Height. Norman just outside of that top 3 as they now work single file into turn number 3 here at Atlanta. Make their way onto the front stretch, and on the outside it's Kyle Rochelle who's trying to take that position again. He's got his teammate at late apex, Dakota Muniz, just behind, trying to push him to the front. Are we now going to see some teammate tactics playing out?
Yeah, I think this is the time to go. This is the time to start making your moves and get yourself into position. So those teammates want to get up there and get even with Vincent Arthur and Josh Conover and go mano-a-mano and see which team is able to do it better. But then Cody Height kind of playing spoiler here in between them. So you got to rely on him. Which team is he going to go with? Who's he going to help here toward the end? Because his teammates are nowhere near. So he's kind of out on his own right now.
And here comes Stormin' Ronnie Norman around the outside of Cody Height. And as you said, Cody has no more friends left to work with him on his same team. And unfortunately, we're going to see whether that outside lane is going to continue to work. There's Cody Reeder on the outside. He's not on the lead lap, but he still manages to push Ronnie Norman ahead. Will Norman clear Cody Height? No, he will not. And again, Cody Height taking victory last night. He showed very well on Sunday night in the Icon Cup Series. Cody kind of having a really great run of things here. Some good luck working on his side. And Cody Height on YouTube, as he's known, you'll have to check him out after the race. Brady Motes and Cody Reeder into the wall.
Same exact type of wreck there. It looks like someone was close on the outside. The guy on the inside moved up the track in a heavy hit again. This time no one goes airborne, but man, Brady Motes, severe damage. Cody Reeder, severe damage. I couldn't tell who else was involved in this, but let's see what happens here from the Goodyear blimp here. You can see Motes on the inside, Reeder on the outside. Reeder going to come down the track, try to side draft, and oh, it's netcode.
It looks like some initial netcode causing Motes to drift further up onto the track or start to turn, and then the two make contact. And unfortunately, it looks like trying to see who that is. Is that Curry who also gets involved there?
That was Christopher Thomas in the 91.
Christopher Thomas, yes. He had just
he was involved in that.
And in fact, he's still racing without. No, he did get his hood back.
Yeah, he did get his hood back, but now he lost the right front quarter panel, and the right front tire is not moving. So that is going to end his night.
Yeah, I would say as the driver as the team owner who has to pay all those bills, you may want to tell him to park it before it gets even more expensive.
Oh, wow. Look at the right front of Cody Reeder. You could see that it is completely detached. It is barely being held on by a thread.
That's unbelievable, unfortunately, for Cody Reeder. And we'll take one more look this time from Mote's point of view, and you'll see exactly what he saw.
His screen's going to get real green real quick. That is a very quick turn to the outside wall there.
A lot of parts that are dragging on that machine. Unfortunate
you can hear it just dragging on the track.
Unfortunate stuff as now we send it back to the live picture. We've got numerous cars here taking repair. Send check back on pit lane. And out there on the track, it's Vincent Arthur, Josh Conover, Cody Height, Ronnie Norman, Kyle Rochelle, Dakota Moniz, Matthew George, and Adam Kulikowski. It's going to be 7 to go at the line. We'll get restarted with about 6 to go. You won't want to miss it right here on VirtualRacing.Network. A lot of great cars still out there to race for this win. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back here on VirtualRacing.Network. Just 6 laps going to be remaining when we come back to the green flag. Pace truck just about to pull off, and we hope you're buckled in and ready for an amazing finish, because that is what we're probably going to be seeing here in just a moment. We appreciate all of you checking in over in YouTube chat, especially the Jake Christenberry fan club, multiple drivers getting some support as well. Always great to see all of you popping up and letting us know you're watching us and who you're rooting on out there. But right now, it's Vincent Arthur and Ronnie Norman, teammates. They're going to be starting side by side. And just behind them, it's Josh Conover and Kyle Rochelle. Cody Height still part of this one, as well as Dakota Moniz. So 2 drivers, as we now see this one start up single file with Ronnie Norman able to tuck in behind his 2 teammates. Is it going to be these drivers for Late Apex Racing who get a good run? Is it going to be the Flatline Motorsports drivers? It's anyone's guess, as we are going to be coming to the high 5 from Barney the Flagman this time by.
Yeah, Ronnie Norman able to get in behind his teammates, and that is going to be very bad for the rest of this field, having 3 Flatline guys, all 1, 2, and 3, because last time they were here at Atlanta, that's the order that they finished, 1, 2, and 3. They were 3 wide across the line, these 3 cars, and I believe Norman was the one who came out on top. But we didn't see Apex in that, so we got to see if they're able to get up to the outside lane and work around them here, as now all 3 of them are together for the first time in a long time in this race.
It'd be quite a gamble, but Cody Height could send it to the high side, maybe get a push from the Late Apex drivers to go. Let's see how this one works out here in the final laps.
What's going to be the smart way to do it? Cody Height's got to kind of back up a little bit, let off the gas, back up, and build his run. That's the way that you're going to have to do it. As now you see Cody Height going to kind of peek to the outside, but not a good enough run here yet.
There goes Cody.
He's
got
the
help outside, and he's got that help. Tom Senchek in 7th place. He set the fastest lap of the race last lap. Just 3 laps remaining here at Atlanta. Who's it going to be? Vincent Arthur, Josh Conover, Ronnie Norman, Cody Height, Kyle Rochelle, or Dakota Moniz? This is going to be for all the marbles as they come around. Norman drifts up the track, and Cody Height looks even further up. Height kind of hung out to dry there on the high side, and now that moves the 3 Apex drivers behind the 3 Flatline drivers.
Ronnie's just trying to protect the outside from, I believe that's the 27 of Rochelle, but it's not going to happen. He's going to get side drafted and pulled back, and now those 2 Flatline drivers are by themselves. Ronnie's still trying to side draft them back. Josh with an aggressive block, not going to happen. Now Kyle Rochelle going to go underneath him, and now is behind Vincent Arthur as we're coming to get the white flag. It is Flatline, Apex, Flatline, and Apex. Let's see what happens here. White flag in the air.
White flag in the air as they march into turn 1 for the last time. It's Josh Conover on the high side, but Kyle Rochelle on the low side. Split up from their teammates. Who's it going to be to the checkered flag? Vincent Arthur holding the low line, but Kyle Rochelle's doing everything he can to try to find a gap in there. Is he going to try to make it 3 wide? I've never seen a closer group of cars coming to the checkered flag, and it looks like Josh Conover to the outside.
Conover wins!
Conover wins as multiple cars.
Terrible crash after the line.
Ronnie Norman, they're still wrecking. There's not going to be a clean car left at the end of this one. Dakota Moniz and Josh Conover, the only 2 who escaped a wreck. Everyone else caught up in a wreck there at the checkered flag. And, you know, if this were real life, we'd be seeing a lot of
ambulances.
A lot of ambulances as we saw some craziness there at the checkered flag. Let's see if we can tell. The first note that I have is Ronnie Norman having an issue going off track. Let's watch from Ronnie's point of view.
Well, you're going to see what happens. Vincent hits the apron, slides up, and that allows Ronnie to get underneath the 27. You're not allowed going below the red line, so the 27 moved down and pushed them off the track and hard hit into the inside wall. So the 27 maybe not aware that he was down there or unaware of the rules of the red line being out of bounds.
Well,
We'll
Ronnie
see.
kind of went for the gap, and there's not much of a gap, as you'll see. He's only about a half a car length gap there, and not really anywhere to go. Kyle Rochelle.
This was a hard hit there.
Detonating.
And also his teammate. Yeah, his teammate had a big hit too. And also Vincent Arthur gets hit there. So we'll see. I think it was Tom Senchek that had the wild ride. We'll have to see. You can see Ronnie, he had enough of a lane, but then it closed up pretty quick. And then this hit right here, man.
Everything just kind of goes quiet in midair, and what a collision indeed. And they're still wrecking heading down the straight.
Yeah, if we watch Vincent's here, he wrecks. And then after he is able to catch it, he starts slowing down and then just gets absolutely destroyed by his teammate, I think, Matthew George. We'll see it here. He gets a little loose, and then he's just going to kind of turn right and wait for it. Bam! He gets hard hit in the back there.
Well, as it turns out, Josh Conover takes victory here at Atlanta. Second place to Dakota Moniz in his debut. And looks like Conover's going to do a reverse victory lap, and we'll let him do that. We're going to catch our breath, and we'll get the final results up here and a chance to talk with our final top three in the NORA Victory Circle. You won't want to miss it. Stay tuned for some exciting conversation with these drivers. And as Josh Conover burns it down, we're going to take one more look here. This is Josh Conover coming to the line with the checkered flag in hand. This is how the race was won. You see Vincent Arthur on the low line, and Vincent got a little bit onto the apron, I think, and that may have been what slowed him down just enough to let Josh Conover get that run. And he takes the victory, and look in the rear view, and there's a bunch of cars wrecking behind him for sure. Bring it back to the live picture, and he's still burning it down there on the front straightaway. Let's take a look at the final results here. And you see it right there, Josh Conover stealing the show at the very end. I don't know that, I'm not even sure that he led another lap, but that's all you got to lead is the final one to take the victory. Conover stealing the win here at Atlanta. A fantastic run. Second place going to Dakota Moniz in his debut on VirtualRacing.Network and in the NORA Cup Series. And in third place, he was leading coming to the white flag, and then it kind of all fell apart in turn 4. But Vincent Arthur still stealing a podium position out of this one, as the rest of the cars behind really saw, well, including Vincent, wrecking after the checkered flag. Tom Senchek, Cody Hike, Kyle Rochelle, Ronnie Norman, and Matthew George all caught up in a big incident there. Matt Tucker finishing in 9th, Adam Kulikowski in 10th, Nick Geilis 11th, Brandon Dunford in 12th, Christopher Thomas in 13th, Jacob Gladelich in 14th, Cody Reeder 15th, Brady Moat 16th, Timmy Harper, Dustin Kleba, and to round it out is Justin Moody, Cameron Thompson, Blade Timmons, Josh Curry, Anthony Mackey, Jake Christenberry, unfortunately having some connection issues here tonight, and Everett Couts as well. Not really able to get in the type of night that he would want to get either. So with that, we're going to get a chance to chat with our third place finisher Vincent Arthur, who has to catch his breath, and I'm sure he's had a moment to chat with his teammates. Vincent, coming to that checkered flag, looked like you had everything in control coming through turn 3. Did you touch the apex down at turn 4, or what gave Josh the chance to scoot on by you on the outside line? And congratulations, by the way, stealing 3rd place.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't think I've ever been so pissed off with 3rd place before. Keep coming so close at the end of these things, and I can't ever frickin' win one. So hats off to Josh. Glad it was a flatline teammate who got it. But good Lord, man. I'd love to catch a break at one of these things.
Well, you've certainly gotten so close recently, so many times, Vincent. Still, you managed to sneak the podium in there, and you're leading the points, and certainly you've made a name for yourself here in NORA many times over. But right there at the end, unfortunately, just kind of caught out at the wrong place, and another new guy, Dakota Moniz, able to get in there as well. But still, a great come-from-behind drive. Again, you were 2 laps down on this one. You could have finished much further back. Still a fantastic run for you tonight. Certainly, you do have your teammates to thank for being able to stay with you through much of this race.
Yeah, Josh did a wonderful job there at the end. I know that he went up to try to split them up and to slow that run down, because we knew if they stayed in line, then both of us were sitting ducks. And yeah, I don't know. I didn't expect. I was talking to Josh after the race, and neither of us expected, 1, for him to get the run like that, and 2, for Dakota to even push him, that far out in front. But yeah, I mean, it was nice to have a bunch of friends at the end. I don't really know what we could have done different. Definitely coming from 2 laps down, surviving just a majority of the race, just to get back onto the lead lap and have the opportunity at the win. I'm grateful for that, and to keep the car clean all night. At Atlanta, you can tear up a lot of stuff. So grateful for that. Grateful for the opportunity. Just, man, this freaking stings.
I can imagine it stings, and of course, you're that close to stealing victory. But again, it must feel good to come back and get a podium. And certainly, you've got your teammates to thank, and they protected you. They pushed you all night, and certainly kept you in the game. Anybody else you'd like to thank, though, for tonight's race to a podium?
I got to thank Red Bull for their continued support. I got to thank Exalta, Pepsi, Flatline Motorsports, Josh, everybody who makes this deal go on. Thank you guys for the broadcast. And yeah, we'll go get them at New Hampshire. I got a couple good tracks for me coming up with New Hampshire and Pocono back to back. So victory would be pretty nice right about now. So we'll put some work in for this next week and see if we can get it there.
Well, the fire continues to burn hotter trying to get that victory once again here in the NORA Cup Series. I'm sure it'll be pretty soon, my friend. And great run here tonight. Great come from behind. And good luck with the rest of this regular season.
Thank you.
That is Vincent Arthur. A bit down, but certainly he does manage to finish in 3rd. And now I think we'll have a chance to chat with our 2nd place finisher, Dakota Moniz, who is making his debut here in the NORA Cup Series and also on VirtualRacing.Network. And Dakota, what an amazing race from you tonight. It was, we were watching with bated breath thinking maybe we would see you get up there and steal that top position, but still to finish in 2nd place and for late Apex to make the run that they did, congratulations. What a heck of a great job tonight.
Yeah, it was a great run by the whole team, especially there at the end. It was nice to be up there competing for that win, and yeah, we just came up 1 spot short, but 2nd place in the debut feels pretty great.
Well, obviously part of this great team at late Apex, who has already been making waves here in the NORA Cup Series, it looked like you were all 3 running together and making plans. First we saw you in the mid-pack, and then we slowly started to see you forming up towards the front. Is this a statement from late Apex to say we can pretty much group up as a team and support each other and do just about anything we want in this pack?
Yeah, I definitely believe that's the case. We had a lot of talks before the race about what the plan was for us and just trying to stick together and do the best we can to be around each other as much as we can during the race. And I felt like that really played out towards the end there and worked out in our favor. So yeah, I feel like this is something you could continue to see at this type of racetrack.
Well, and certainly as Bird returns back to the seat very soon, should be interesting to watch this whole team continue to battle with the likes of Flatline Motorsports. What did it feel like out there to you tonight? It seemed pretty comfortable. Did you enjoy the competition here in the NORA Cup Series?
Yeah, the competition's great. Sounds like just by first race, a lot of awesome racers in here, a lot of good personalities for sure, just by listening to them over the radio and whatnot. Sounds like a good group of people that knows how to have fun but race clean at the same time. So yeah, the racing was great tonight. Setup felt pretty good. Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time.
Who would you like to thank for tonight's race to second place?
Well, obviously I'd like to thank my teammates, Tom Sinchak and Kyle Rochelle and Late Apex. And thank you guys for putting on an awesome broadcast. I watched the last few before I joined the league. And yeah, I just look forward to future races here.
Well, we absolutely welcome you. We appreciate your kind comments, and certainly we'll look forward to the exciting Dakota Monies rushing through the field and giving these flatline teammates a real challenge. Congratulations, 17 positions gained to take second place, and still quite a few races this regular season to punch your ticket into the playoffs.
Yep, we're going to try to. Appreciate you guys.
All right. So that's Dakota Moniz, and we absolutely appreciate him. But I'll tell you what, this whole thing wouldn't be possible if it weren't for Josh Conover. And I think that Christian has had a chance to catch up with our race winner and the NORA admin, Josh Conover.
Yeah, I'm down here in Victory Lane with Josh Conover. Josh, man, last night second, this week or tonight you get the win, and I tell you what, you won a draft track, dude. How's it feel?
Typically, I'm used to surviving and getting like top fives. The win kind of feels a little different. Kind of like it.
Hey, you got to let me know how it feels because I've never finished in the top 30 at one of these type of tracks. So, but you definitely did something right. Earlier in the race, we saw you just kind of hiding back in the back, and then you just slowly made your way up front. And then once you got up here, you never left, man. So was it just something about working with the team tonight that you found some speed, or how'd you keep that thing up there?
Typically, I try and find that 24 car. Him and I have always seemed to click. I think it's been 2 or 3 seasons now. When we go to a super speedway, we kind of, if we can get linked up, whenever, either beginning or end or whenever, it's typically a good recipe for us. And I told him even after that, I didn't really obviously want to take the win from him. Obviously for him running for points, but we both even kind of said it. I don't think if I would have not tried to block the Apex guys, they probably would have just blown our doors off, because I think they kind of side drafted Ronnie off of us, which, good play to them. But yeah, I don't know. The only thing I can say to maybe help you in your plate races is don't run up front in the beginning. That seems to kind of bite you 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, something usually bites me. I don't know, but again, congrats on the win. I mean, last night you finished second. Tonight you get a win. So this weekend week has started off great for you. I'm sure you were a little bit tired at work today. You might be tired at work tomorrow, but at least you're going to be happy while you're tired. So congrats on the win. Anyone you want to give a shout out for this one?
Oh, yeah, you guys for the broadcast. Everybody for running. I know, actually I forget now looking back at it, but it felt like it wasn't a terrible race to the end, which obviously I'm sure anybody can attest to plate racing. It gets wild at the end, and especially here, everything happens so much faster here than, like, say, Daytona or Adega. It's almost like what's that saying, fighter jets in a gymnasium or something. It almost feels like that. But no, I gotta see who I can talk to about switching me and Cody's wins, so we can get wins on our point night and not the owner's point night. But no, but like I said, you guys for the broadcast, everybody for running. I think it was another, solid field. They were missing a couple point guys still, and even a couple owners guys. So, just add a couple guys here and there. It could have been an easy, 30 car night. But hopefully, good finishes on back-to-back nights for you guys, and hopefully put on a good show. And I don't know. I know trucks are off next week, and I think these guys go to New Hampshire or Pocono, New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
Yeah, I will say I don't want to be in your shoes next week. That could be a pretty boring race, but hey, we'll see what happens. You never know.
Yeah, New Hampshire definitely not one of my favorite tracks. But you said the next point race you got is Pocono over in the Truck Series. So how you feel about that one going into that?
Well, I happened to win that race last year, so if you go off last year's notes, I would say feeling pretty good. But that's the trucks are draft dependent as it is. Then you go to a place like Pocono with long straightaways. It makes it even tougher. You could be, not that it happens, but you could be 2/10 faster, 3/10 faster. But like I said, straightaways are so long, it doesn't even really matter. Come lap time wise. But we'll see. You're gonna have to try and somehow save tire and obviously stay out of trouble and just play the draft game, I guess. We'll see. Clearly I figured something out last year, but that's last year for a reason. This is this year, so we'll see what happens.
All right, well, good luck next time out, whether you race at New Hampshire next week or wait until Pocono in the trucks. Good luck in the next race.
Thank you.
All right, Trevor, you want to wrap this thing up?
Yeah, this was something else, Christian, to see Josh be able to steal it on the last lap and do it in style. He emerged kind of towards the end of stage number 2, starting to get into stage number 3. He moved himself up to the front, and we know that when Josh Conover is up in the top 5, any point in the race, he's feeling it. He's a potential race winner, and he was the sleeping giant tonight, able to slice through with that very popular number 25 HendrickCars.com machine and able to steal the victory. Josh Conover just shows each and every race why he is in that legendary NORA veteran circle of legends. So, Christian, this was a great race from beginning to end. We saw it all here tonight. As you mentioned, next week, of course, we'll be having the very next broadcast here will be the Icon Cup Series. That'll be on Sunday night. And then, of course, we'll be having the NORA Cup Series on Tuesday night as well. So you won't want to miss it. If you're not already a subscriber, make sure you smash that subscribe button and like this video if you can. It helps us to get the video out to even more people that enjoy iRacing and NASCAR Next Gen content. But certainly, Christian, this was an amazing race. Really enjoyed it. Atlanta may not be everybody's cup of tea, but it never disappoints in the finish department. Your final thoughts before we close this one out?
I do like the old Atlanta, but everyone who, doesn't like this style of racing is crazy. This was a fantastic race. The races that they put on in real life are amazing. This track, they did a great job with it. I can't wait to see the races in the future here because every time that NORA has come here, it's been a fantastic show. So, New Hampshire, though, next week, maybe not going to be a fantastic show. Kind of wish they would demolish that track, but that's not my own opinion. But yeah, I've never been a fan of New Hampshire, but it has produced some really historic finishes. So let's see if NORA and Icon can put on good shows on Sunday and Tuesday of next week.
Well, if there's one thing that I know, the more that drivers seem to dread going to a track, the more it surprises us all with how well it races. So we'll just stay tuned for that one, and certainly really enjoyed this one. If you did like it out there, of course, we do appreciate that like, but let us know in the comments down below. We'll see you on Sunday night for the Icon Cup Series. On behalf of myself, Trevor Greenfield, and my compadre in the booth, Christian Snyder, as well as all the rest of the runners here in the NORA Cup Series and the admin, we thank you for joining us here on VirtualRacing.Network. This has been live presentation of iRacing on VirtualRacing.Network, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time in our YouTube chat room live on Sunday night. On behalf of everybody here, so long, have a wonderful rest of your week, and see you Sunday. Bye-bye, everybody.